Hello and welcome to another fireside chat here on the Foundr YouTube channel, also being broadcasted across our Foundr community platforms across the internet, Facebook, Circle, wherever you are. My name's Terry, and today I'm going to be having a great conversation with one of our students. Her name is Mia Dixon. Mia, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. I'm excited. We're going to get to know a little bit more about you. We're going to obviously talk about the business side of you, but I think this is going to
Yeah.
be a bit more of an organic, personal chat as well, and just to realize the realities of what exactly it takes to run a business, what exactly it takes to navigate through the challenges of business, and I think we're going to have a bit of fun.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, I just have to take my AirPods out. I'm getting playback going through, so bear with me. Okay, there we go. I've got you up and running. Yeah, I'm very excited to chat to you today and share my story of building two brands through the Start and Scale platform. And yeah, can't wait to share what's going on.
Incredible. Well, let's begin. So why don't we start
Yeah.
from the very beginning? Why don't you give us a bit of a rundown as to, who you are, where you've come from, and what your first avenue in terms of either work or business, and what was the landscape of that?
Okay. So I was teaching yoga pre-COVID, all around North Queensland, running workshops, everything like that, and weekly classes. Obviously, COVID hit, everything got shut down. We didn't really know what to do. So in that time when we were in lockdown, we were sitting around the backyard campfire, having a glass of wine with my husband, and kind of said, when all this goes away and I head back to yoga, I really want to fix this idea of business cards. I hate carrying them. They'd go to the bottom of my yoga bag, they'd get all mushed and gross. And I'd realized in this conversation that when I was chatting to students at the end of class, we were both standing there with phones in hand. So my husband and I were kind of spitballing ideas. And I said, I just need something magic that would zap my information into somebody else's phone. And I'm very lucky, he's very tech minded, and we kind of got to work and started thinking, well, there's got to be something out there. There's NFC technology that we can harness and tap details into phones. We just need something to kind of physically show that that can be done. And that's where the idea of our first business of Social Dot started. So that's kind of the premise as to why and how it came to be. And I'm really lucky to say that we have people using our digital business card technology all over the world now, which is awesome. We've been able to harness a global audience, and people are tapping their details daily, which is really cool.
It is very cool. Were you always business minded? Did you always have the
I
motivation
think,
to?
yeah, I think so. I mean, I started work when I was really young at a cinema. I was an usher and the candy bar girl. And then after working in a cinema for a while, my parents were actually lucky enough to purchase their own cinema. So I worked with them for quite a while. But I was always kind of having something on the side. I always had a side hustle. There was always something there, whether it was photography. I think I did a spray tan business once. There was always something on the side going. So I really had this entrepreneurial drive to get something going for myself, but never really cracked through or had the blueprint to do it in a way that could expand further than my local community.
Hmm. There's something important there that you touched on. There's a few little businesses that you had tried, succeeded in various situations, maybe failed in others or learned in others. What do you identify as some of the key learnings early on, before Social Dot came to the picture?
I think obviously I was thinking small before in those little side hustles. I mean, at that stage, I had one, maybe two children. I now have four. So everything, and I was a lot younger. There wasn't that global audience or that global growth strategy in place. It was just more focused around my little general community. I lived in a little coastal seaside town in New South Wales. So it was kind of really stuck and small-minded in that way. Now the world has opened. I can harness the power of social media and access someone living on the other side of the world. So it's definitely changed up in the sense that it's gone from small thinking to that real scale and growth thinking.
And how did you get there? What was the catalyst for opening your mind up?
Yeah, so again, I think with Social Dot, when I first started, we had it up and running for a few months, and we were only thinking Australia and New Zealand. That was kind of where our market was headed, and where we felt comfortable, because again, we weren't really sure how to do the whole global shipping thing. Uh, I then found TikTok. I jumped on TikTok in the early stages, and I started putting just really simple behind the scenes videos, just me generally talking to camera, showing our product and how it works and how it could benefit people. And one of our TikToks went viral, like really, really viral. And we then had exposure through Daily Mail and other publications. And within sort of 24, 48 hours, we had people from all over the globe saying, we need this, we want this. Can you, can I buy? And we had to figure out really quickly how we were going to start shipping globally and having, suppliers and wholesalers overseas to be able to support those markets as well. So it just expanded our customer base pretty much overnight and gave us this huge global platform that we could contact anyone, anywhere, and opened up a lot of avenues to work with different people as well, which is really cool. So TikTok's been instrumental for us and our growth.
Yeah. Well, let's dive a little deeper into Social Dot, because that's really the beginning of,
That was
I
the
guess, our
baby. Yeah.
yeah, that's the baby. Yeah, the firstborn child,
Yeah.
we'll call it. So you've started, you've mentioned how you came up with the idea. Essentially, it's really about solving a problem, which that
Yes.
is really the mentality around what we do. It's not really about what product can I sell, it's what solution can I provide, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, in a big way. And I think when you do that, you come from a place of service. You're not coming from a place of trying to flog something to a crowd of people, or be that new trending, pop it little thing, or spinner, fidget spinner or something. You're coming from a place where you really want to provide a value to a person and solve their solution with them. So yeah, I think that changed the game for us.
Mm. And throughout the process of building Social Dot, I mean, you're a mother, so you've got some things happening in the background.
Yeah.
Why don't you touch on some of the other challenges, maybe personally, that you're willing to share with us that were going on? Because the reality is, we all see Social Dot, we see Safe Bands, very clever, very cool products, but a lot happens on the human side of business. So, what was that for you?
So obviously, being a mum of four kids, being a mum of any kids is never going to be easy, but four is really hard. And they age range from 16 on these L plates driving right down to 5 starting kindergarten at big school. So there's a huge age range as well to be able to cover. But behind the scenes, I'm really lucky. My husband's very supportive, but again, he works away and travels a lot. So organization and being on top of certain things really helps me function within my family unit and then within the businesses and everything as well. So business is always going to be hard for anyone. I think for mums, it's especially hard because we deal with mum guilt and all of that comes with just general hashtag mum life. Uh, but it's also been really empowering in the sense that I can do it. I am able to do it. I've been able to build this or two amazing businesses out of nothing, build this, excuse me, build this equity for our family that's generating income all out of nothing. So it is something that, mums and dads are capable of doing, and with the right support team, even the kids. I mean, my daughter helps me film a lot of the TikToks when we go out and about, because of the nature of safe bands being a product for family and kids. My kids wear their safe bands because, again, it's solved a problem for our family. So as far as like creating content and everything in daily life, I'm very lucky that I'm able to, slave labor my children into content creation. But it's really been a family affair for all of us. They've helped pack orders when we've gotten super busy. They've helped box up safe bands when we've had huge deliveries and everything. So it's been really cool to see the kids understand and learn that mum's not just typing on her laptop. Mum's actually creating something cool. And, I hate to say this, but I've even had a few bragging points from my 16-year-old that, mum's got 2 verified YouTube channels. I mean, sorry, not YouTube, TikTok channels going on and that sort of thing. So that's been really cool as well for them to see mum doing so well.
Well, I think there's something else that comes up as you talk about that. And when you think about the future and the next generation of not only business owners, but humans. I mean, you've got your children who are all of a sudden, I mean, you can call it slave labor, you can call it character building, but I think
Character
there's
building is
something.
probably better.
Yeah, I think character building is what we'll go with, but I think there's something in that for what you're exposing your children to moving forward as to where the world's going, and you've obviously taken advantage of the fact that, at some point in this world, the internet happened, and then the ability to build a business on the internet happened, and you're obviously doing that. And to be able to give them that practical, real life experience of what it actually takes to build a business, I think there's something special in that.
Yeah, and I think, a lot of adults say to their kids, parents say to their kids, you can be anything, you can do anything you want to do. How many parents and adults are actually out there doing it though? And that's something I try to live through my daily values and show our kids that they can really do anything that they want to do. And the opportunities that have opened for me from having online businesses and connecting with great communities have been insurmountable. So I appreciate the fact that they're able to see me do that, but I also appreciate the fact that they're able to get tastes of that in their little lives, helping me in the businesses, so that they know that there's opportunities out there for them to do anything that they want to do as well.
Yeah. One of the many questions I get from students, I think this would be one of the most common, is around sourcing a product and the
Yeah.
process of finding a manufacturer and a supplier and how do you negotiate. Can you run us through how you did it? Because obviously at some point there was no social dot, and then all of a sudden you needed to have the thing. So what was your process with sourcing?
Yeah, sure. So we kind of, with social dot, it was a little different, and again with safe bands probably a little bit different because it's not just product based. There is quite a large tech and building portion behind the scenes within the websites. So a lot of our sort of sourcing and everything actually happened after we had built the the tech needed to support the platforms that we wanted. So once we kind of had that tech down and, tried and tested and done all those sorts of things, it was like, okay, how can we make this work in a product? So we kind of worked ours a little bit backwards compared to, I guess, some of the people out there. Once we had that all sorted, we then got on to manufacturers, and it is a process. It is a pain in the bum, but you work through it, and you've got to be able to negotiate. You've got to be able to put the hard word in and say, no, I'm not happy with that. I want different numbers, or I want a different MOQ. I want different color options. Whatever it is that you need for your product idea, you need to be able to be strong in the sense of dealing with your manufacturers. And if they're not doing what you need them or want them to do, to find a different one, go down a different avenue. There are thousands of manufacturers out there, and don't be afraid to have a manufacturer rebuild a mold for you, rebuild an idea, make it bigger, better, smaller, better, whatever it needs to be. But it's really important that you have open communication with your manufacturer, and that you are able to stand up for what you need and what you want, and don't just go with the run-of-the-mill product.
The manufacturer that you currently use, is this the first manufacturer that you were in contact
No.
with?
No. So again, that's the other thing. We have changed manufacturers over time. And because of the expanding range of products, especially with Social Dot, we have actually two manufacturers. So we have one for our dots and cards, and then we have one for our watch bands as well. So it's really a matter of finding who has what of what you need, changing it up to the way that you need it for your branding and your business, and then using those suppliers.
Right. I guess the next biggest question I get is around the marketing of the product. Social media is well and truly here.
Yes.
You touched on TikTok. We're going to touch on that in depth shortly. But what was your process of I've never done social media marketing to now I have to do, or now I'm going to utilize social media marketing, and how did you develop that?
Yeah. So again, I mean, I grew up in the era of Facebook starting. So, I mean, I had my Facebook, I've got my Facebook page for too many years now. But those little side hustles that I mentioned a long, long time ago, they always had a Facebook page. They always had that great engagement, posting and everything like that. So I had that taste of what was required of me, what I needed to do to establish a community online and everything like that. When TikTok came to be, it was very opposite to Instagram and Facebook in the sense that it's raw and real, and that I could open my phone in the car and just talk directly to the camera, post it as a TikTok, and be done with it, let it go out to the world. Whereas Instagram always, and Facebook as well, needed to be this curated, beautiful post with words and all these things. And again, being a mum, I don't have time for that. The ability to open my phone, quickly talk to the screen and post it, be done with it, completely changes the game. So for me, I think it's finding what you're comfortable in. I mean, I'm really comfortable getting in front of the camera, no makeup on, not looking pretty, and still talking about my business. And I don't really care what other people think of me. And the beauty of TikTok is nobody has ever once commented on, my looks or my appearance or anything like that. They're there for the information. They're there for the scroll. So, yeah, I just really feel that TikTok gelled really well with me personally as a person, being raw and real, and that I always found the community building on Facebook and Instagram that little bit harder for me because I wasn't poised and I wasn't photoshopped and I wasn't all of those things. So, yeah, it just kind of sat with me a lot, I guess, easier in a sense.
How important or how much weight do you put into building community?
Huge, a big amount of weight. Um, we've had people on both of our TikTok platforms that have been with us since the beginning. And even in the sense that when I had established Social Dot on TikTok and we were running along, and then it was time to open Safe Bands, I knew I had to get on TikTok straight away whilst building. So we were able to, like, before 2 weeks before launch, we built our email list. And then on launch day, we had our email list, we had our TikTok up and running. We already had, probably 10,000 odd people following us. And we hit the ground running. We smashed that opening weekend sales targets. And to the point where I just didn't think that was possible. But obviously I did it. I knew it was. And I had learned a lot of lessons through Social Dot of what not to do, what to do, and then took that to Safe Bands. So it's been instrumental as far as growth and exposure for us. And then too, it's opened us to all of these amazing communities. Like the Foundr community has been really great. The TikTok itself community of all the business owners, that's been amazing. And even just publications and magazines. And it's given us kind of those notches on our belt to be able to get out on the PR side of things and say, this is who we are. We've got a really great platform, a really great community. This is what we're doing. Would you like to talk to us? Would you like to feature us? And most people, when they see that and they look into the community, look at our engagement, everything like that, yes, please, let's work together. Let's get something done. So it's really opened a lot of doors for us.
Brilliant. And you touched on, the founder community. You took part in our Start and Scale course. At what point in your business journey did you come to Foundr and start and Scale? What was that process?
So my husband and I purchased Start and Scale kind of on a whim, and it kind of sat there for a little while. And I think, as everybody does, because of the way that the course is structured, and Greta is so good in explaining everything as she does, and she started with her drink bottle, I think everybody goes for the drink bottle to start with. Oh, that's it, I'm going to do another drink bottle brand. And it's like, even we went down that road for a week or two and kind of went, no, we've got to be a little bit more original than that. So we really kind of, I guess, watched a few videos, started down the drink bottle route, went, not going to happen, pulled back for a little while, and probably wasn't for another couple of months that we thought, lockdown hit, let's really dive back into that Start and Scale. And, we've got this idea, we've got this solution of the digital business card. Let's use Start and Scale to really establish that and get it going. So we were able to follow step by step of what we needed to do to get the business up and running to where it is now.
Right. And then I guess looking ahead and looking at now, what's the update on Social Dot? Where are you at right now, and what are the challenges you currently face?
Yeah, so right now we are servicing a global audience, which is really, really cool. And I never thought that that would be a possibility. I've sent some social dots to some really weird and wonderful places, places I'd never heard of that I actually had to Google, like, different countries and things. So that's really cool in the sense that we have a community of people that are tapping away and sharing and ditching the paper business cards, ditching the landfill waste and making that switch to digital. And it's just kind of growing in the sense organically. It started as a B2C, business to consumer side of things. And now we're really seeing the switch in Social Dot now to a B2B platform where we're servicing way more businesses. We're looking at fleets of dots and fleets of cards, fleets of watch bands for whole business units, franchise businesses all over Australia, and then even some overseas that have our products in them and are using them daily to connect with their customers, which is really cool. We have the innovation now built into our business that we're able to put logos of other businesses on certain products. So that's been a big game changer as well, because people that really value their own branding and everything don't have to have a dot that says Social Dot on it. They can actually have, Bob's lawn mowing service on there or whatever it needs to be. And they can get out and actually promote their brand using our products as well. So that's been a big shift for us, is working with that B2B audience now. But I'm so happy that it's just kind of happened organically and taken over, and businesses can see the value in, not having a drawer full of paper business cards anymore, and just having this one thing on their phone that they carry with them everywhere anyway, and that they can connect instantly with anyone at a tap, so that they're not out of pocket or, digging through the handbag trying to find a business card. It's there, it's easy. So yeah, that's probably been the biggest shift for us, is changing from the B2C audience to the B2B audience.
Do you ever take a moment to think about, okay, this is my biggest challenge right now, and then you look back on what you thought was your biggest challenge 12 months ago or 18 months ago and sort of compare the challenges?
Yeah, definitely. It's actually been, just for me personally, the last 12 months, I kind of have taken the foot off the pedal a little bit. The businesses have grown organically, which has been great, and I've been able to enlist some help behind the scenes, which has been even more wonderful. But for me personally, I've gone on a weight loss journey in the last 12 months and managed to lose over 45 kilos. So for me, in the sense of losing that weight, I've actually been able to lose a lot of weight from the businesses as well, to be able to function with them in I guess, a slim down capacity and get more out of them than I ever thought possible. Just with little old me and a contractor hero there behind the scenes, which is really, really cool.
How important is it to look after yourself and your health when you're running a business, or in this case, a couple?
Extremely. And I think that's where, running the two businesses, living on coffee and all of the, sweet, sugary goodness to keep you going, I gained a lot of weight doing that. And I basically had locked myself in. We still weren't out of lockdown. We were still kind of stuck in the office and getting orders out. Our TikTok was blowing up. So there was constantly orders going through to everywhere. But I noticed that my health was deteriorating. I was dealing with a lot of other illnesses as well, mostly from the weight gain. That I really kind of put my foot down and said, if I really want to take these businesses to the next level, I need to look after myself first, to be able to give my best self to them as well, because they are really important to me. And I have created them out of nothing, which is the most amazing thing to me, is that this whole thing has come from a spark of an idea. So looking after myself to be able to look after that spark of an idea and take it to wherever it needs or wants to go is really, really important.
Yeah, I think that's an important message. So, Social Dot, it's well and truly on its way, and it's well and
Yeah.
truly on this journey. Then you decide you want to start another brand. So tell us about Safe Bands. What is the premise,
Yeah.
and how did it come about? When was the light bulb moment of, we need another
Yeah.
brand?
So For years and years ago, all four of my children have been runners. They just do the bolt on me and take off. And I've been losing children since 2006 when I first had my first one. So the idea of something has always been there for me. And it wasn't until we were sitting in Social Dot and had it up and running that we realized that we could actually recycle some of the back end tech that we had built to be able to repurpose for safe bands and build something different out of that. So again, same sort of thing. We built the back end first, like we did with Social Dot. We built out everything that we needed and wanted it to do. And again, that's evolved over time, but it was very basic to begin with. And then we needed to find the product. We needed to find the thing that was going to connect the back end. So it was kind of a matter of working with our kids and seeing what they'd be comfortable to wear or have on them, or whether or not we wanted batteries involved in things, or whether or not do we look at SIM cards and phone radiation and all those things that parents think about. What do you want to expose your children to? And we came up with a really simple solution that, because everybody was using QR codes at that time for check-ins for COVID, QR codes have kind of come back into fashion. And we knew that we could use that technology again in the safe bands. And we've, built out a little band with a QR code and a unique code on it that if any one of your children or even your pet had done a runner, that they could have their safe band scanned, you could be called direct, be notified of any medical needs or any important information about the wearer. And since that sort of very basic first build out, we've been able to then build in location services so parents can see where the band has been scanned. They can get direct, map directions to that location. We've even got an app in the works that I'm hoping is only another week or so away from being delivered, so that it's even easier for parents to be able to use their safe bands, update them, pop in a photo of the child right before they head out, so they've got full clothing description of them if anything was to happen. And it really just builds out that peace of mind for parents to be able to have the safe and comfortable outing with their kids. So
Wow.
that was it in a nutshell.
And how much of what you learnt, I guess, not only through Social Dot, but your own journey, how much of that allowed you to streamline what you were doing with safe bands?
Obviously, being a parent first, everything needs to be comfortable, usable, wearable, indestructible with kids. So it really kind of came down to the fact of needing and wanting to design a product that could withstand everything that a child could put it through. So once we kind of had that in play, it kind of built itself from there. We were able to then, with the back end of the technology, work through, well, what would a parent want? What kind of details are they looking for? Are there children out there with special needs that need that little bit more information on their safe bands, or children out there that don't have verbal communication skills that need that extra bit of information in there? So it really was a matter of working with ourselves. Then I went to all my girlfriends and said, I've got these. Can you please test drive these for me and use them, kill them, jump in the pool with them, take them to the beach, run them through the mud, whatever you need to do, and really, really give these a really good run through and have a play in the back end of setting them up, everything like that. So thank goodness I've got beautiful girlfriends who are more than happy to give it a go, because once I explain the concept, it's funny as a parent to know how many people out there have an issue with kids doing the bolt on you. So they were more than happy to help out and give me that great feedback. And then from there, it just kind of snowballed, which was awesome.
I think there's something special that happens when you get into the game, and I think once you learn something that needs to be learned, I guess Social Dot was really the big one for you. Once you learn it once, replicating it can only be more efficient the next time.
Yes, yes. And I think too, as far as building community and building that audience beforehand, so that that when you're ready to launch, you've got a list of people there on your email list waiting to buy this product that's coming. I mean, we took a completely different approach to launch Safe Bands than we did Social Dot, and Safe Bands was launched all through TikTok. So it just, it was definitely the do's and don'ts through social learning and then really running with that. And you can see the difference now in our community growth and everything like that on the platform between the two. Uh, but I really came in at a beautiful time, worked a lot with our TikTok manager that we have, and yeah, developed a really great relationship with them as well, which was part of that instant growth of community. They noticed us on the platform. They really wanted to help Aussie business, small business grow. And yeah, so it's been a really cool journey for us, a really great instrument to grow and scale our business.
Yeah, well, let's go further into TikTok. So a lot of
Yeah.
organic content. Um, what's the landscape like for you now? What do you utilize TikTok for now? Is it the same as what it was when you started, or is there anything different?
I've become a little bit more refined in my TikToks. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit better at it. I look back at some of the old ones and cringe, but hey, they got me to where I needed to be. But yeah, no, we now work a lot. I've taken the last 12 months off to really focus on myself. So my TikTok has slowed down a little bit, but it's up to me to regain that sort of push again. And I'm back on board now. It's almost like coming back after having a baby. I'm ready to jump back into the businesses full throttle. I kind of need to look around, see what's going on, what's changed, but I'm ready to go again now, which is really cool. And the TikToks in itself, I mean, I'm still explaining the problem, the solution, probably just in a more refined way. And that seems to generate a lot of buzz, showing how our products work. So not necessarily my face on camera, just literally showing how to tap a phone or how to scan a safe bands or showing the kids out and about on an adventure really resonates with the audience. So we've been able to have a lot of content just from our general family outings and things, or just me generally connecting with someone in the public. If I go to a networking event, I'm able to record that and use that as a TikTok. So it's been just that really organic reach and really organic content that's got us where we needed to be.
One thing I really resonate with in what you just said is about looking back at, some of your early pieces of content and cringing. I feel like that's just the reality. Like your first 50 pieces of content, if you're not looking
Oh,
back at them and cringing, you probably haven't evolved.
no, and I even take that. It's really funny actually. We had a envelope come back from Italy that I had sent over a social order. It was about 18 months ago. And it finally made it back. It obviously didn't make it to its destination, but it took 18 months to get back to me. And I opened it up and it was all of our old packaging, all of our old bits and pieces, the old way that we used to structure our welcome. And I kind of was like, oh my gosh, I used to send that to people. How hideous. But it did the job. It got me to where I needed to be. We've been able to grow the platform. That first tap of social dots, like if you go back to our first tapping videos of social dots, it's hideous. And even like the way that the platform used to load and everything like that, and the icons and the coloring, it's like, oh no. But now we've been able to really see the difference in what 2 years can make in business and to how we can connect and listen to our tappers as well, the people out there that are using it daily and what they want and what we've been able to build in for them. Like, in the beginning, a lot of people would just say to us, oh, Mia, it'd be really great if it could do X, Y, Z. And I'll go, okay, cool, leave it with me. And within a month or so, I'd have that built into the platform and, send out a big email and thank the person that had come up with that idea because, again, they're helping my business grow by using my product daily. And it's evolved like that over time. So I'm really thankful to our users. I'm really thankful to be able to have the time to look back and go, oh my gosh, that was gross, but we're getting better, we're doing better, and also have that perspective, which is really cool.
What do you think is the secret in the doing? Because I find a lot of conversations with students. It's for the most part, it's centered around whether it's internal beliefs or external opinions of what we're doing. Like, what's the secret to just doing and being comfortable with knowing that this might not be my best now, but it's going to be better?
I think you need to take the caring out of it. Get really factual if that's what resonates with you, and just know that whatever you're doing has got to be better than not doing. I really feel like by not doing, you're not doing. How logical. But I really feel like by taking this step, whether it be good, bad, indifferent, whether something hits, whether something goes viral, that sort of thing, you're not going to know unless you do. And it could be the most cringiest videos. Some of ours that have gone viral are horrendous. But am I extremely thankful that they have gone viral and opened our audience up to a whole nother, sometimes country, sometimes something will go off just in Canada alone. And all of a sudden I wake up to 40, 50 orders just from Canada. And I think that was only 6 hours. Okay, awesome. But it's a cringy video, but hey, it resonated there and it got some traction. So I think you just really need to do and take the thinking and the self-sabotaging out of it, because as long as you're doing better than not doing.
Yeah. One is better than zero.
Correct. Absolutely. Every time. Every time.
There's a good portion of Foundr Plus students who'll be tuned in to this, so we do welcome you. What would you say, whether it's the Foundr Plus students or anyone who's thinking about taking up one of our courses, like what would you say to them about how to get the most out of the programs and the courses?
I think it's given me the blueprint. I kind of, like I said, we've always had that entrepreneurial drive, but it's given me the blueprint to be able to think bigger than my little local community. So, bigger than the local little corner shop or bigger than the local little mobile spray tan business. So to have the ability of literally having steps of, okay, what am I struggling with? Whether it's Instagram, okay, there's a course for that, there's steps. Whether it's the Start and Scale course, which I've done, all right, I've got a starting idea, now where do I go? Having those steps to be able to follow through each individual little section and building it out as you're watching the course has been instrumental. And I think once I did that with Social Dot, I kind of knew what I needed to do with safe bands. And yes, there's been times I've run back and kind of referred back to something that I thought, oh, hang on, I know there's something that I should listen to again in the course. It's there. It's easy to access, and it really has been that establishing driving force of wanting something different, wanting something better, and being able to build something better than thinking small. It's really opened my mind to thinking big, which is really cool.
Yeah. What would you say to yourself day one of business if you were sitting there having a conversation with that version of you?
Well, I think I'd go back to the done is better than perfect scenario. And I think that with everything, you can make the content, but it's not content until it's posted. So you can, write the blog, but it's not a blog until it's actually posted. So it just needs to be done. You need to see it through, finish it off, get yourself out there, become that face of your brand that people can associate your brand with you. It has been really helpful to me. People know me as the Social Dot and Safe Bands girl. They stop me sometimes, going through the big W checkout. It's like, oh my God, you're the lady from, whatever it is. And so I think it's really synonymous that you need to make it synonymous, your brand and your face, to have that personal connection. But done is better than perfect. Get anything done and get it out there and start delivering yourself, delivering your solution to the people out there that actually have a problem, that need to know about it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're going to look to wrap up, but before we do, I just wanted to put a little call out just to anyone in the audience that is curious to find out more about Mia's journey, the Foundr journey, how it can help you. I've just got a link in the chat right now. We would love to chat with anyone who wants to know more. So feel free to hit the link and book a call with us. Mia, looking ahead now, the situation you're in, what now? What happens
So,
now?
yeah, okay. Good question. We're actually in talks at the moment with a distributor for our Safe Bands product, which is really cool. So I hope that we'll be able to see Safe Bands in some really big box stores and getting that underway. Like I said, we're in the final stages of wrapping up the app for Safe Bands, which is really cool. And then as far as the Social Dot side of the business, we're working with some really big companies and brands out there being able to change over and reduce their paper waste side of the business with their paper business cards to the digital business card side of things. So again, growing that B2B business side for us is really key. But I think for me, at this point, after kind of having such a big personal journey behind the scenes of the business for the last 12 months, it's really stepping in back into the souls of the business again and getting them pumping and executing in a way that feels lighter, feels good, and is really being of service to the people that are out there consuming our products.
Yeah, right on. Well, listen, this has been a pleasure. I've really enjoyed the conversation. I think I've learned a few things, and I'm sure those watching at home are learning and will learn things along the way. So, just want to thank you for your time. I know that you're a very, very busy human being, and time really is the greatest asset that you can give. So, I really appreciate it, and good luck with what comes next, and well done for what has happened so far.
Thank you so much. And thanks for having me on. And for anyone that's interested in looking into the course, I cannot recommend it enough. It's really changed our world, changed our little family life, and opened us up to dreams and things that we would have never imagined. So it's really cool. So thank you to the founder community for having me on.
Good on you, Mia. Thank you.
Bye.